Shalom. Shir Mayikoa. Before we start off, I want to give praises to the Father and the Son. Brakta Yehovah, Brakta Yehoshua, Brakta Yehovah, Brakta Yehoshua, Brakta Yehovah, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Yahweh is the people ignorantly called God, and Yahushua is the people ignorantly called Jesus. You so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans. You are the Hebrew Israelites. Then we got an article. Then we gonna hit a precept. Well, this is nothing new. But a lot of different countries have been doing, more and more missile tests. And, them just doing that is a sign if you know what times we are in, man. And the global different powers, they're edging, closer and closer to war, man. Moves are being made economically, but also militarily. But says the Pentagon is investigating UFOs that possibly turned off, quote unquote UFOs that turned off nuclear warheads. It says former U.S. Air Force personnel reportedly told the Pentagon about their encounters with UFOs back in the 1960s. The officers say the 60s era's UFOs supposedly turned off nuclear warheads, man. And we know that they're referring to them as UFOs, but we know they're the chariots of the Lord, man. And it shows you, the power that these chariots have, man. If they can turn off your missiles, man. And these nuclear missiles, play a key role in prophecy, man. This is Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy, man. So, the Lord, gave, these heathen nations, the knowledge to be able to build, these nuclear missiles, man. Really, for their own discretion. And these nukes, and also chariots have always been noticed around nuclear sites, not only in the U.S. but Russia, all around the world, man. And those missiles are going to stay in those silos, until, the Lord has them to be used, man. Because, these missiles aren't these various different countries' missiles, man. Those weapons are the Lord's, man. He decides where they go, where they hit and what time and when they get shot, man. Now that's why, the angels are hovering and around, all these nuclear sites, man. And on top of that, if it's up to the Lord's will, man, when it's time for these missiles to be shot out to the places that the Lord wants them to go, he could have it to where a Pacific country's missiles misfire and they don't work, man. And on top of that, it could have a country's missiles, strike themselves, if it's of his will, man. All these things, could happen, man. Because, at the end of the day, the Lord controls everything, man. It's according to, his will, what he wants. And I saw another article, it was talking about how quote unquote, what they call a UFO, knocked multiple, missile stations offline, man. And, and I saw another one, basically the same thing. It was talking about the same thing happening in Russia, man. So, these missiles ultimately belong to the Lord, man. But with that, hope this lesson was edifying, through spirit and power. Yahweh Shimi Shah. All praises unto Yahweh Shimi Shah. Until next time, Shalom, Yashallah.